Yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, tamu sana, tamu sana, yes. The presidency is expected to be a symbol of national unity. But if you look at William Ruto's government, that's not the case. The presidency is coming out as a symbol of national disunity, going on the remarks Ruto himself and Rigathi are making in public. About 1 day ago, William Ruto used a very strong word, kusafirisha Uhuru na Raila. And that word was interpreted to mean very many things. In fact, Rigathi has also been on record talking of a final solution on Raila Odinga. Huyu mzee ametusumbua sana, baba yake alisumbua Kenya, ye pia anatusumbua. This time around, we are going to deal with him with finality. Those have been Rigathi's words and also William Samoei Ruto. And their foot soldiers are also helping in inciting and dividing the country. Moses Kuria has been very loud on that, even threatening assassination directly on Raila Odinga's life. Yesterday evening, Moses Kuria, through his social media accounts, shared out tweets that were clearly indicating he is planning some assassinations. And it's very interesting that the police have not seen it fit to arrest Moses Kuria, who is clearly a warmonger and an inciter. That's very interesting, ladies and gentlemen. And the remarks by William Ruto, Rigathi Gachagua, and their team, the remarks are now angering Kenyans, and some bold men and women of God are now calling the government to order. Listen to this preacher before we continue.
Ya mwisho, unashinda umewinda Raila. Kama mtu anawinda swara, endelea kumwinda. Lakini wacha nikukumbushe, alienda kwa mazishi ya Kenyatta, akaenda kwa mazishi ya Moi, akaenda kwa mazishi ya Kibaki. Usipochunga, wewe na Gachagua atakuja kwa mazishi yenu. Mungu.
Yes. The remarks by the preacher are self-explanatory. It's actually true that in Moi's regime, very many people thought and knew Raila Odinga would be finished by Moi. Raila is still alive, Moi is gone. When Kibaki took over power, there was this Mount Kenya mafia, the Atora Sagasian. There were some two Mamlukis, some two foreigners, who are believed that were brought into the country with some crook elements who are surrounding Mwai Kibaki. And it's believed that they were brought with the sole intention of finishing the opposition leaders. Kibaki is gone, Raila is still there. So you are seeing that in Ruto's government, individuals are also threatening Raila Odinga's life. And just as the preacher said, definitely they will go and they will leave Raila Amolo Odinga. One thing that is certain, life belongs to God, and it's only God who can take away somebody's life. You cannot predict death on your opponent. Life belongs to God. And from what we have seen in the past, it's almost certain, and for those who are good when it comes to the Bible, God is telling Abraham that I will bless those who bless you, but curse those who curse you. From what we have seen in this country, it might be possible that any person who curses Raila Odinga, instead of Raila Odinga being cursed, they themselves are cursing themselves. And I'm saying that based on some remarks that have been made against Raila Odinga. And even sometimes back, some preachers, who we can only describe as fake preachers, were predicting some calamities on Raila Odinga. Some of them are no longer with us. So it might be possible that this man Raila Odinga is something like, is mysterious. That's why it's called a Gwambo. Any person predicting a misfortune on his life, actually that normally backfires. So to Moses Kuria, William Ruto, Rigathi, and their team, who are constantly predicting some calamities on Raila Odinga and on Azimio leaders, they must be very, very careful, because they might be dealing with something mysterious. That can only be my advice to William Ruto and his team, because they are fond of issuing threats against Raila Odinga. And from those remarks, it's also coming out very clearly that some brave men and women of God are still left. People who are out to say the truth as it is. During last year's presidential campaigns and elections, the church was leaning towards William Ruto. And William Ruto effectively used that to whip emotions across the country. And they could even use the church pulpit to spew hate and even to campaign. And that, in one way or the other, made Kenyans lose a lot of faith and trust in our churches. And as I talk, it's actually true that, courtesy to William Ruto and his team, Kenyans no longer have faith and trust in our churches. Ruto has clearly destroyed the church. And even now that he's the president, we are seeing that some church leaders who have been very vocal and critical of his regime are being threatened. One such person being Ezekiel, Pastor Ezekiel. Ezekiel, upon William Ruto assuming power, he has been critical of Ruto's rule, and he has been reminding Kenyans of some prophecies he made before the elections. So it appears William Ruto and his team do not want such individuals who are critical of the government or who are speaking truth to power. So Ruto and his team are clearly dictators. But one thing as I conclude, life belongs to God, and it's only God who can take away somebody's life. Ruto and his team should refrain from threatening assassinations against opposition leaders. And also, even before I forget, yesterday, United Nations on Human Rights issued a very strong warning against Ruto's government, more so on the police brutality. So Ruto, the way Ruto has ruled in the 9 months, even the international community are now getting a little bit interested on what is happening in Kenya. Initially, William Ruto created a feeling in the international community that the problem was Raila Odinga not accepting the results of the elections. But now, in 9 months in power, its true nature is coming out. And now the world is coming to know who William Ruto really is. Let me stop it there, ladies and gentlemen. If you are watching us, but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give this video a like. And in case you want to support our forum, I've pinned my number on the comment section. Contact me through the number, or feel free to channel your support to the number. Any other person watching us outside Kenya for the very first time, drop a comment, let us know from which part of the globe you are watching us from. If possible, subscribe, give this video a like. Let's meet in our next analysis. Thank you. God bless you.
Habari zenu, mimi naitwa Joseph Kagai, na leo nimekamuru kuambia kitu moja. Hii life imefika mahali kila Mkenya lazima utoke. Hii story imeondoka mambo ilikuwa sijui ni chama fulani wala fulani. Hii ni story ya maisha yetu sisi wenyewe. Ukisikia hii filimbi inapigwa, kesho ni kutokea. Kwanza hii story ya maofisi kila saa. Hii story tunawacha. Kesho sisi wote tuko kwa streets hadi Zakayo atoke. Zakayo kwanza Songoma 3. Kesho dinga zote tuneka parking, senda kwa road. Hii life imekuwa mbaya. Hii life haiko unbearable. Wamama, youth, wazae, tupatane kwa streets. Kila mtu. Wakati. Unaenda maandamano.
Tuende maandamano. Tuende maandamano. Kuja.